Just a moment, we're going to get started. Excited, are you? All right, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. Uh, it's a good evening, good day, good morning, good evening, whatever time of the world you happen to be into this. But this is I'm excited to tell you about the three secrets. I'm going to ask you, are you nervous about suffering a stroke? So I'm going to outline three secrets to stop your next stroke. Interesting. You may have, um, uh, what is my story? Um, uh, if we turn back the clock to almost 14 years ago, um, when when it was in January, and you would wonder what is he talking about strokes? Because I was happily married, had two boys. They were 8 years young and 5 years young, and um, and I had a very active career. And then approximately 2.5 days later, I couldn't walk. I couldn't. I was bedridden, and I couldn't talk. Would you have ever have guessed that it happened to me? Here I was, 50 years of young, and had this um, this event occurred to me. I had two strokes over 2 days, and the first took out my speech center, and the second one took out my um, motor function of my right side of my body. So I'm grateful that I've learned a lot how to get things back. At least I can talk enough to have a workshop, um, and I can I can walk, and I can use somewhat of my right arm and hand, but I'm still doing it because I know that there would be a medical breakthrough soon. So, anyways, um, it was um, it was a crazy thing to believe, but it but I think that um, what's important is there is like a approximately over 10 years of between the time when the strokes occurred, and during that time was uh, the um, was a bad time. Um, I wondered. I hoped that I was going to find the next calling or the next purpose I was going to have, but I was lost because I loved when I was the hospital administrator of a large veterinary specialty and emergency practice, and I loved because we could help um, pet owners and pets get help they thought they wasn't available to them. And then I was when I needed to retire, um, I I was lost. I was like like I was in a life raft without in the ocean without paddles. So fast forward approximately 2001, I found that I could help other stroke patients that wanted more, and I was so happy and so grateful. And so that's what I do. I coach other stroke, I call them thrivers, to want to be more. It's exciting. So, what happens? Um, Over 50%, some experts say 80% of strokes don't have to happen. So, my mission or my calling is that the strokes, at least up to 80% of them, never have to happen. I'm going to make sure that it's stroke is a we read about it in our history books, not um, not in present. So I have to say I have to give you this disclaimer because you may think or feel your condition involves a medical issue. This consulting is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your medical professional before changing your diet, exercise routine, medical regime, lifestyle, or mental health care. An individual's experience may not represent the typical participant. Your background, education, experience, and worth ethic may differ. This presentation is used as an example and may not be a guarantee of success. Your results may vary. All right? Yes. So important because um, some people may see this as a permission or excuse to go ahead. I am, you must always um, um, uh, take what I tell you and get your medical professional involved. So my invitation to you is I'm going to give it to you when I get through with this presentation, and I would hope that you would take my invitation seriously and consider it. So the intentions of this workshop is threefold. Number one, what can I do to prevent, to lower the risk of the next stroke, or if you haven't ever had one, have a stroke. Number two, some facts about a stroke. And number three, three secrets to stop your next stroke. So, who can benefit from this presentation? There are four groups that I hope will listen and will hear my presentation. Number one is the stroke survivors or the stroke patients. Number two is their loved ones. Number three, there's their caretakers, the stroke survivors caretakers. And number four, any one of you out there who worries about a stroke, they may have one. So important. So you will get a gift if you stay the whole presentation. My company is called Thrive Recovery Solutions, and I wrote a report called the Physical Examination Every Stroke Patient Should Know. It has about 14 tests. I say test, quote unquote, because a lot of them are common sense. And I'll have you go through these um, tests and and score yourself and repeat it every 1 to 6 months because it serves as a progress. Um, so you can document how you're doing or not doing. So it's important that you take some notes. Um, Jim Quick is a brain coach extraordinaire, and I love him, and I love what he says. But he has said in several times, if at least you do listen and watch, you will have a. It's amazing uh, what what he gives, but you will learn, you will retain about 10 to 20% of my presentation. Um, I think it's a wonderful presentation, but if you just listen and watch it, you'll only retain 10 to 20% of it in tomorrow when you try to recall it. But studies have shown you will remember more of this presentation if you do a few things. First of all, ask questions. Even if you don't ask me, ask yourself questions and say, I wonder if, I wonder, but, and, and you, especially if you take a pen or pencil and paper or your tablet or your phone or your computer and take some notes because the action of taking notes, even if you don't write any questions down, they all these actions cause you to make new connections in your brain. It's called neuroplasticity, and the amazing thing is that your attention increases at least by 50%. So it goes up to 20 to 40% of your retention uh, after 24 hours. So the important thing to do is participate. Even if you don't interact with me, participate with yourself as the presentation goes on. So, what are the stroke signs? And they can be varied and either simple or complex. If you have the biggest or the most horrendous headache you've ever had, and it comes on suddenly, you should be concerned. You should ask. You should seek medical help. If you have problems of walking normally, you should seek medical help. Um, um, if you are concerned, um, you can balance at all. You're concerned with, and you should seek medical help. And let's say you cannot understand or can not make yourself understood, um, that is reason to seek medical help. So it's really important. Um, um, there's many other things, and I'll go through them shortly. Hi, Lucy. All right. Um, but we're going to go through way back in the 1990s, some um, British emergency doctors and ambulance drivers get together and decided they wanted something to tell their um, more the story about they were seeing with stroke patients, and they were concerned about it. So they put together this informatic, and they summed up 4 items fast, but it's been expanded worldwide, and now they use BFAST, and it stands for B is for balance. So if you have anything with the balances are wrong, especially suddenly, seek help. The eyes, anything wrong. You maybe you can only see off out of one side, or it's strange, seek help. The face is drooping on one side, problem. B, seek medical attention. Arms or legs, especially when it's not symmetry or it's not symmetrical, one side, that is a problem. Seek help. And the speech is blurred or um, um, you can't say anything. And it's interesting. When I had the strokes, um, the first took out my speech center, and I didn't realize slowly through the day, um, I stopped talking more and more, and I didn't think anything about it because I'm an introvert and I don't um, don't uh, talk a lot, but looking back at it, I realized I was seeing it happen. And the T is time. It's so important that you seek action quickly because if the time exists between your stroke occurred and you get medical help, if they do it within 6 hours, that they can get you in to the OR, the emergency or the operating room, they can administer a drug intravenously, and it dissolves clots. So it's important that you hurry up and get uh, seen by an emergency physician because they can assess you and decide um, um, it's so important that you be evaluated. So let's talk about a few facts about the strokes. You realize that 1 out of 4 of us through our lifetime will have a stroke. Man, this is crazy, but it's true. For example, my mother, she'll be 93 and the 17th of January, and when she was 91 on Labor Day, she had a stroke. She had a mild stroke, but she still had a stroke, um, and she fortunately. Uh, Only about 10 days of hospitalization. She was good enough to come back to her assisted living. But in the United States of America, almost 800,000 people a year have a stroke. That's about 0.1% of the population, but it's huge. And of those people, 650,000 of them um, um, will that are affected. Of those, approximately 500,000 of them will be disabled. Maybe will be permanently disabled because um, I don't believe in permanently, but that's what the statistics say. And approximately uh, worldwide, 1% are living with the effects of a stroke. That's 110 million people. That's amazing. And most important that you understand is that depending on which study you look at, 23% to 30%, or roughly a quarter to a third of stroke patients will have a next stroke, will have another stroke. And that's why I decided to put this workshop together to get the word out there to say approximately 80% of the strokes are preventable. They're due to lifestyle choices, and I'll outline the 3 major secrets you can do to help yourself. So if you want to reach me, there's a few ways to get a hold of me. You can email me at drbrent, Dr. Brent, at thriveafterstroke.org, my website. It's about the stroke resources available. you can get a hold of me on the platform of Be Connected. It's new and upcoming, but it's a great social platform that's out there, the best, really, I think. You can get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram. Those are all ways you can get a hold of me. And of course, LinkedIn, TikTok, but I don't really see those very much because I'm focusing on the top sites. And then the other thing I'm doing to help get the word out, I'm writing a book called "Stop Your Next Stroke," and I'm in the final draft, and I will get that out sometime next quarter. It's part of my bigger mission. That is to help people realize they don't have to have a stroke and change their lifestyle. Important. All right. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Right. Checking. Just checking. Just a moment.
I have to jump off.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Lucy. See you later.
Okay, wonderful
Okay.
presentation. Thank you of what I saw of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you have a book. I'm so proud of you. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. It's great. Doing everything I can to help people
Absolutely.
know that they don't have to have a stroke and what options are available to them.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that for so many people. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya. All right. I guess we don't have any questions so far. So let's dive in and we'll keep on going. All right. Let's talk about the third reason or intention of this workshop: the 3 secrets. How do you reduce your odds? I think of it as a ticking bomb, because really it is. If you don't don't make changes that are better for your odds of reducing your strokes and being as you get as you live longer, being healthier. Um, but when it's ticking bomb, um, it's like well, it could blow up in your face. So we'll look at the first secret, and I say a secret, but when we think about it, these are really common sense ways to you know that you're affected by it and how you can reduce the odds. So the first is more stress increases the chances of stroke. So if really it negatively impacts you, and when I go backwards and I look at how I was when I was 50, I thought I was fit, but now I know I wasn't healthy because I had chronic stress that contributing, I think, to having the strokes. 3 years before, I had a TIA, stands for transient ischemic accident. Um, I thought I had a stroke or something because I basically half of my body was asleep. Um, and it lasted about 3 hours. I ended up going to the emergency room, and the doctor later he said, "I'm concerned that you had a TIA, and you should be tested." And uh, that's that's it's important that we understand that chronic stress increases our level of cortisol. It's a hormone, and it's involved with inflammation. And so when it increases, you get more inflammation, which leads to having artery plaques or thickening of the arteries. And those are one of the things that can bust off or crack off. And that can be a clot, which uh, goes to your brain and causes a stroke. Um, there was just one of the ways that you can have a stroke. Um, basically, all of these stresses lead to unhealthy habits. We use them to, in the short term, we hope to alleviate some level of stress, but these are poor coping mechanisms that over time will derail us. Um, please hear me strongly that some of the habits that you have developed aren't helping you, and they are harming you, and they can lead to a stroke. So the 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 first tip I give to you is this: less stress means you breathe deeply, and it's really easy to do this. It involves taking 3 deep breaths, and um, you literally it takes you approximately a minute to sit down, or even if you're standing up, to stand. Um, Pause, relax your body, and then you inhale through your nose. And um, it's funny when we look at the physiology of the body. When we breathe in through um, the nose was designed when we to help us breathe in and filter air. So we breathe in and basically feel your belly go out. And you want to feel that because that means you're taking a really deep breath. So, and you may have noticed that your shoulders lift up, and you're expanding your chest to allow more air into your body. And then pretend you put a straw in your mouth. So you purse your lips, and you exhale through your mouth. And do it slowly, but completely. Literally feel your air almost, it's all gone. And that's the first time. Basically, about 20 seconds to do this. And then you take your second breath, deeper breath. Your third, that's it. Because when you do this, it triggers your relaxation response. You say, huh, well, I don't know anything about relaxation response. Everybody has them programmed in their body. The relaxation response is actually a mechanism by which your parasympathetic nervous system um, has that. And when you take 3 deep breaths, you trigger your relaxation. And it's fun. It's kind of like a antelope grazing. and um, he's she's grazing or he's grazing, and that's like taking 3 deep breaths. But a minute before, he heard a noise. He looked up. He was all tense. He that he noticed that his sympathetic nervous system was alert. But then when it was noticed that no, there's no problems, he or she um, switched over to the parasympathetic uh, nervous system, and the relaxation response kicked in. It's really fascinating. All right, number two, your blood pressure. You realize that your blood pressure is really important? Do you understand, or if I were to quiz you, do you know approximately, do you know your blood pressure? Most people will say, I don't know. Maybe the last time I was into the doctor, I think it was okay. They don't understand how important it is to know that, because if it is elevated or um, high, it is the number one cause for strokes. The number one cause predisposes them to having a stroke. And it's really important. It's measured in millimeters of mercury, big news. And the American Heart Association, or many places around the world, recommends 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury. The top number is when your heart contracts, or the systolic pressure is the larger number, and the smaller is the diastolic, and that represents when your heart relaxes. And that's important because if it is elevated, either number is high, that it it tells us that your heart is not relaxing enough, and so important. So I'm going to tell you the second secret, second tip. What's your blood pressure? There's 3 places that you can get your blood pressure monitored. Number 1, you can call up your favorite mail order or a place where you order things, and that has a blood pressure monitor, a home monitor, and you can order one. They're inexpensive, and you can get it shipped to your house. That's what it looks like in the picture here. And you can use it to measure your own blood pressure. And it's not the most, it's a rough measure of your blood pressure, but it tells you close enough. And it tells you if you're normal, if you're low, or if you're high. And that's important because when you know your blood pressure, you know an important number, because a lot of people have found that high blood pressure is a silent killer because they don't realize their blood is elevated or their blood pressure is high and important. And the second place that you can find your blood pressure results is your big box stores, the pharmacy or grocery stores that have a pharmacy have a station that looks a little bit like a fancy chair, and they have a place where you can slip in your arm around it puts a cuff around your upper arm, and then you push a button, and then makes a lot of noise and squeezes your upper arm, and then slowly relaxes, and then it spits out your numbers, which are your blood pressure. And in the last is the third place you can get your blood pressure monitored is go to your doctor's office and ask, can I please have my blood pressure measured? And they will use the most accurate way to find out what your blood pressure is. And that's really good because if it is elevated or high, you can get help there in the doctor's office. So important. All right, and the third, um, just a extra reminder for you, if you have a high blood pressure, that means if it is above 140 or 80, seek help soon. And it's important that you ask your doctor, and really, if you want to, please consider these changes this week. Call up your doctor because you may not get in there right away and you want to. All right, number 3, the third secret. You maybe we already know this. Move your body, move more, and movement does matter. Maybe you think it doesn't matter, but it does. And moving often is essential. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, they had a study released, and the study found that adults were sitting down and working on the computer more than they ever have, and they found out that they were sitting down without moving, was like smoking a pack or two of cigarettes a day, and that really got everybody's attention because we don't want to smoke. Maybe we don't. And but if we are sitting down and not moving, we are. It's like we are smoking. And how much you move every day, I don't know what equates to resulting in to decreasing your stroke and decreasing the risk of a stroke. But it's important that you move more and you move often. And if you don't like something that you're moving, stop. Um, if you do something that hurts or is uncomfortable, uh, ask your medical professional, ask your doctor, ask a physical therapist, and have them help you. Um, uh, have them help you know that it's important that you have that. And I use 4 goals each day. I want to have more strength. I want to have better balance. I want to have extra agility or mobility. And I want to have greater stamina or endurance. And I think you should borrow my 4 goals because these are areas that helps you um, helps you more often. All right, and then for the third tip or third secret is move more, but I'm going to give you easy ways or simple ways to do this. You can walk 15 minutes per day. That means you can take your dog or cat, if your cat walks, you can walk with them 15 minutes a day. You can use your stairs. If you live in a second story place or an apartment building with multiple stairs or floors, or maybe you have a basement which has steps. Basically, you can go up and down uh, these stairs until you uh, really get your heart rate up. Um, and maybe you feel a little bit um, oh shoot, when you do it enough, you really know that you're getting a little bit sweat, and you built up some sweat, and you're winded, and you know, oh, I'm moving more. So that's important. You can lift 2 pound weights per day, and that's important to uh, do it. And I can, even though I can use my affected arm, I can find enough 1 pound weight to lift it. And the other thing, like our couple has in our little slide, were dancing. They were having fun, and they were using this motion, this activity, to move more. They do it for 3 to 5 minutes, and then the music is off, and then uh, they rest. And the last, I leave a link in here is a clip to a YouTube video, and it is a chair exercise session, and to Motown music. It's beautiful, and it shows how even if you're wheelchair bound, you can still move more. Go do it. All right. The thing to remember is if you don't change anything, you get the same odds that you had before. So, what choices do you have? You have a important choice, because if you make choices um, that will lead to a healthier lifestyle, it's important to do it. And most important, if you do nothing, 23 to 30% of you will have your next stroke. If you had the first stroke, but if you didn't have a stroke, you can have increased chances of having a stroke. If you want the goal of not having a stroke and having the less risk of a stroke, make some changes. Please do it. And right now, I want to give you your gift. If you would direct message me on Be Connected or Facebook or Instagram, or you can text me. You can give me your phone number to 248 780 9590. Remember that in some places outside of the US and Canada, that may not work. So you can direct message me by uh, Be Connected Facebook or Instagram across the world. So tell me that you want, that you saw the um, presentation, and that you want my success report, and I will gladly give it to you. So you know that if you take the action, and um, yeah, I will give it to you. All right, do I have any more questions? I'm just checking. Let me ask you some questions. How many of you feel overwhelmed because of all this that I've covered in my program? Um, you may ask, maybe your mind is going too much. Or maybe you say, how many of you are excited about what we have just talked about? But either question you asked may I ask you a question? May I have your permission? Oh, good. I'm I'm going to invite you uh, to listen to my program, and you may want to take advantage of it. So it is a it takes it, it's part it makes up for four parts of the program. The first is the Stroke Survivors First Aid Kit. And this is a course that I put together. It's written. It tells about four areas of your life that you need to address. So, your mindset or your attitude is the number one and the most important. And the number two is the physical arena. And look at there, it doesn't involve just your exercise. It looks at your sleep habits, your water intake, your type of food, and etc. Go through lot of material. The third area is a emotional arena. And this is really important because a lot of us, um, a lot of us have worries, have anxiety, or have depression, and those are made worse by uh, by the strokes. And but it goes through how to improve these areas. And number four is the mental skills. And a lot of times, stroke uh, takes a toll on our brain, and some of the skills we used to have may not be there as much. So our memory ability may be decreased, um, either short term or long term. That's just one example of the area. And number two, I look at four areas of the key areas, and I go deeper into them. And once a month, I have a group training, approximately in an hour, and it goes deep into one of the areas of the four areas of, of your that makes a difference with your lifestyle and the strokes. So I can have a case study, which in the case is me. Um, I looked at, for example, I thought I was fit, and I was fit, but I wasn't healthy. So I changed my dietary choices um, that I made after I had the strokes. Um, a lot of times I didn't realize I was not helping myself, I was hurting myself. So I made changes, lots of changes in my lifestyle, and and it led to better outcomes, better, better. I hope will mean for more longevity and better life. So that's important. So hopefully you will realize that if you make changes, even a few changes will have a major impact upon your life long term. For example, one of the stroke patients I know, um, he he totally turned his life around because he had lots of um, some lifestyle choices that were not that were hindering him, and he realized after he had the stroke that he had to make some major changes, and gratefully he has, and um, he's his life is better for it. So the third part of the program is 6 videos of questions and answers I recorded over time on the stroke recovery. I used to do this most Fridays, and now I have um, rolled it into my um, stroke folk show on Thursdays. But I have 6 videos, which I think you'll find would be very helpful. And the fourth, the stroke recovery checklist I retail on my website is $47. So added together, the total value to you would be $738. So it's important you understand. I make my guarantee to you, and I want you to try the program, and you can decide later. You have 90 days for which I will guarantee you get their money back. If you don't decide you found it was helpful or useful, email me or direct message me, and I will gladly give you your money back because I want you 100% satisfied. And it's important. If I your don't have your agreement, I don't want to take your money. I want people out there that have used my material and made changes in their life. It's really important. So I think you saw that, but I'm going to tell. I'm not going to. Um, I'm making the program a fraction of the value to you. And why am I doing that? I'm going to bribe you. I want this in your hands, and I want you to take advantage of learning about the material and putting it into action in your life so you get better and you be better in the long run. And so I'm going to charge you $67. So you may go, wow, that's amazing. But really, um, I want to put um, the action in um, your arena so you can make a difference. And if you would go over to the center of my 3 buttons over there, the Stroke Survivor First Aid Kit bundle, if you click on that, you will be transported to the same place that we're tinyurl.com/ssfak hyphen bundle takes you to the same place, or you can take a picture with your phone of this QR code. But any one of those will get you to the same location, and then you can put in your credit card information, and you get instant um, access to the bundle. So it's important that you have a decision to make. But before we do that, I'm going to share. Well, first, I want to tell you about a couple of testimonials. I had one was one of my students, and she said, "I think as seniors, it is our responsibility to do all we can to have healthy longevity, and Brent's content was valuable to my toolkit." Um, so Victoria McRae is a weight loss coach, and that was important that what she had to say. And then second, I'll tell you in a little bit is just a moment. Just a moment. And the second was Lucy Rosa Stagi. She's a business mentor for senior entrepreneurial women. And she said, so those people told me what my program made a difference for them. So I give them to you to decide um, what can you um, decide to do uh, the next stage. And now, if you decide the first 5 people of you, I will give you an additional program called Simple Stroke Recovery Plan, and this is um, a um, plan where I get together with you, um, and we go through your checklist, and I give you examples and my experience of um, uh, what you can do to make a difference. And I'm going to set it as the deadline this Thursday evening at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time because you need to decide. And it's so important. Um, the decision is yours, really. And if you decide not to take advantage of the program, I understand. Um, but if you're wavering, remember, you've got my 90-day guarantee. And so you can find it is either everything I said it was, or it's not, in which case you will email me or you'll message me and I will get you the refund. Your decision, and I hope you make the right decision. So, one more time, you can get 4 parts of the program, and if you're one of the first 5 to sign up, you get a sixth, or excuse me, you get a fifth plan, and you decide. So um, just click on the button to get the Stroke Survivors First Aid Kit bundle, and you can enjoy a healthier, longer life. All right. It was so wonderful to have you in my program and my presentation. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, evening, whatever, to your success.